Hello, TCH209. I want to give you directions on how to create your teacher report. So on the wiki page, please go to Resources and Materials and scroll down to the Teacher Report and Portfolio Rubric section and click on Teacher Report and open up that download. When you create this on Word, you can use the template that is available in this download. Just enable editing. I'm going to increase the size of it so we can look at it a little easier. So when you create your teacher report, what you're doing is you're reporting out to the classroom teacher the progress that your student has made over the course of the semester while you've been tutoring. So you need to enter your student's name and grade level. Please use initials for your student, child's teacher, and then here's your name, reported by. First thing you're going to do is create a good hefty paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs, introducing your student and who you know them to be based on their interests and who they are dealing with their literacy development. Beyond that, then, you're going to discuss the assessments conducted. This is where you can go back to your paper from the beginning of the semester. And you're going to discuss reading first, and you're going to put the date of your MISCU analysis. So that beginning date, one of those first 4 sessions of the semester when you were tutoring. State that it's a MISCU analysis, and then list numerical results from the MISCU analysis, the cues your student used, and strategies for making meaning. Please use all of these headings. Then you're going to state under letter B the more current date of your follow-up reading assessment, which was a running record. So you'll put the current date, the running record, and again listing numerical data, the cues the student used, and the strategies for meaning making. 2 of the things I'm really looking for in both of these are the cues that they're using, and under the numerical results I'm looking to see if they increased their comprehension percentage. So have a comprehension percentage under both. Also, you'll probably want to list the level of book that the student read for the MISCU and then the level they read for the running record. Because if it's the same level book, that's fine. That doesn't mean that progress wasn't seen, because you may see an increase in comprehension with the same level book. Or you may have increased levels of book. That again shows progress. Then moving down to the writing samples, you'll list the date of your writing sample from the beginning of the semester, give information about the topic that you gave, the observations you made, conventions the child used. Under the observations, you might want to also state data from the 6 traits rubrics that you used for assessing. Same thing then for the more current follow-up writing sample. Just make sure you're putting the date for both. Beyond that then, scrolling down, you're going to discuss the other language arts, what you learned from assessing the students with listening, speaking, viewing, and visually representing from the beginning of the semester when you were assessing them again, and then their attitude and interest inventories, their surveys, what you learned about their affective needs. That's all stated here. Then scrolling down beyond that, sorry, I went too far. You're going to move to tutoring, and you're going to talk about what actually then happened during tutoring. You're going to briefly list your goals and strategies that you actually used during tutoring for reading and writing, and then the other language arts. Now, more than likely, you didn't address all of the other language arts or all of your goals, and that's okay. Here, you're just stating what it is that you addressed during your lessons. Now, you may have also created informal goals once you had addressed both or of your reading goals or both of your writing goals. You may have addressed new informal reading goals that you didn't write about in your paper, and it's okay to talk about these here. If you just addressed maybe viewing and speaking, then it's okay to state that that's all that you addressed here. And then here you talk about addressing your affective goal, which I'm assuming everyone addressed because you were choosing books based on the student's interest. You may have had a behavior chart that you were dealing with each session. Also, maybe you addressed an agenda. Maybe you had a break time so that you were meeting their affective needs. Then, once you've filled that section out, again using the headings that are present here, you can see, just a side note, that between each section it's double spaced, but within each section it's single spaced to keep this at 2 pages if possible. Then you move to the final section of the teacher report, which is the progress. I'm going to read this to you, and I know you can read, but it's important that you understand exactly what to do here. You're going to summarize any changes or progress you've observed in your students' literacy development over the weeks you've been tutoring. State which teaching and learning strategies your student responded positively to. So, for example, if your student responded positively to utilizing a KWL chart when you were reading a nonfiction text, and that it really helped them to organize their thoughts, and perhaps you then used it for their writing, and they liked how it helped them organize their thoughts to then begin a writing piece, you would want to state that there. Also in this section, briefly state some goals you think your child could continue to work on. So that means goals that you set that were appropriate and that they responded well to. So if working with nonfiction text and using a KWL chart, for example, some aspect of a nonfiction text was something that worked well with them and that they could continue to work on it to improve their abilities, then you state that there. But here, you can see it says don't make suggestions about what the teacher should do. That's very unprofessional. Don't say, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, you need to continue doing this. You're just gently suggesting that you think the child could benefit from the opportunity to work on it, that they did benefit from working one-on-one with you, and that there were certain goals and strategies that the child really responded to. Then you're going to thank the teacher for the opportunity to work with the child and for your experiences at this school. This teacher report is worth 125 points. 10% is going to be about saying thank you to the teacher. If I don't see thank and you in your teacher report, that's going to be an automatic 10% deduction, so I'm going to take 12.5 points off. You must say thank you. This is probably going to be a good, 2 hefty paragraphs where you're discussing reading and writing specifically, strategies that work well, and what the student can continue to work on. If you continue to scroll down, you will see that there is an example for you to follow. It lays out absolutely everything that you could use in your teacher report, and the goal is to try to stick to 2 pages. If you have any questions, we'll be discussing those questions in class next time.